Hello. Hello, friends. It is back. We are back with the 30-day writing challenge. I have a tan because I spent the weekend in Los Angeles with some of my best buddies from college. And it was really fun. How's everyone out there? How's everyone, meaning no one? But I'm here. And this is for posterity, as always. And I'm going to text Kristen now and see if she's available to be here to edit. I'm getting messages on my phone. I'm feeling good, ready to go for this week. It's going to be awesome. Please forgive my very needy cat. She is very needy. She's 17 years old. So she wants attention when she wants it. I'm excited to get back to it. I'm excited. Ow, ow, ow. I'm excited to get back to it. I really am. I had a great time this weekend. We had a lot of laughs, but I also really love my life. I love that I'm able to write this book. I love that I'm able to pursue what I love. I love my woman, my partner, my family. My nephew has been taking gymnastics for about, I don't know, a year or two, and he is state champion. How cool is that? It's so cool. So we have a state champion, gymnast in the family, and we have his proud uncle Nate. So what did I learn? What did I learn from my experience this weekend? Well, I learned that what would I tell myself as a 22 years ago when I graduated college. What would I say? And I would say to myself, I would say, um, hey Nate, you got to think long term. I know you want to change the world with your art and be famous tomorrow, but think long term. What is the long term play? And maybe that comes from just watching the book Grit um, by who was Angela Duckworth. I just listened to that book, and they talk about how grit is very much so the deciding factor in when someone creates and achieves excellence. So I definitely have grit. My ADD kind of conflicts with it, right? Where I really have stick with things and I know a lot of things after a lot of experience, but the whole sitting down for 8 hours is very challenging for me. But this book writing is very exciting for me because I get to have a structure and I'm following it so far. Day 6, here we are. Let's read. I never forget the moment. I'll never forget the moment as long as I live. I sat in a room with nearly 500 people, nervously waiting as a woman approached the stage. She was an elegant 55-year-old woman with silver blonde hair. She wore a gray suit jacket and a matching skirt. Everything about her exuded professionalism. In her hand, she carried a small white envelope with a golden wax seal in it. In the envelope, she had my fate. My palms were sweating. My breath was short and rapid. An hour before, I'd walked off the stage as one of the biggest public speakers competitions in Canada. I made it to the finals where I was one of 10 speakers to compete for the championship. And now the silver blonde haired woman would tell me if I was good enough. She'd tell me if all my months and months of hard work were worth it. She announced the third place winner. It wasn't me, thank God. I breathed a sigh of relief. I was here to win. She announced the second place winner. I smiled. It wasn't me. I waited for her to announce my name as the victor. She announced the first place winner, and to my shock, it wasn't me either. I haven't even made the top three. Emotions flooded my body. I was angry and confused, shocked and devastated. I knew that I had nailed my speech. What had happened? Well, a few months later, I figured out why. I received a package in the mail with the video recordings of all the speakers. I went back and watched my performance. Then I went back and watched the top three speakers. Despite how much work I put into my speech, it was obvious to me where I'd gone wrong. All the top three, and especially the winner, were incredible storytellers. They wove emotionally powerful stories into their talks, where I had simply made a point and moved on. It was a sobering and crucial lesson for me. And that's what we're going to focus on today, stories. They're the lifeblood of your book. That's what makes us feel alive. Without stories, your book will feel boring and at its worst and unmemorable at best. That's because our minds are wired to learn and remember through story. Stories come in all shapes and sizes. Some are monumental, some are short and sweet. Either way, they have to be woven into your book. So, we've created our book outline with chapters, bullets, and subpoints. Before we get fully into the writing process, we're going to spend today making sure we know our stories and have placed them in the book. Go back and look over every section of your book so far. Where can you add stories to any of the bullet points or subpoints? Go back through and write them down. Write a paragraph or two or more telling that story. Get some emotion down into this outline. For example, let's look at one bullet of the points that I've been sharing through the challenge so far. Bullet point 3, divorce rates, the effects on family, and the financial cost. Subpoint 1, divorce rates in your country and the major causes of them. Subpoint 2, how divorces emotionally affect your spouse and children. Um, how divorce rates emotionally affects each spouse and the children, and a personal story about this. Under subpoint 2, we previously made a note about a personal story. Now is the time to begin and write down the personal story. Suppose there's a story about how the author came home one night to find his 8-year-old son crying hysterically because he felt he was responsible for his parents splitting up. Now would be a good time to begin that story into the outline. Make sense? Great. Your assignment today, set a timer for 30 minutes. Review your book outline and add any notes and paragraphs on specific stories that you want to make sure are in your book. These stories can be big or small. A combination of the two is best. Celebrate. You have a book outline. Extra credit, hit reply and share with me the full outline. First off, I want to congratulate you. You've been following along with the daily assignments, and then your outline is ready. That's a huge accomplishment. Take a moment to celebrate this. Tomorrow, we're going to start the fun and exciting process of writing the rough draft of your book. And I'm going to share with you my ninja strategy to writing the wicked fast and in flow. This is how I wrote my first book in 21 days. Get excited. Chat tomorrow. Joshua, I like stories. Break. Cool. Let me text Kristen. I'm texting Kristen. I'm texting Kristen because she is going to take a first swipe at editing this book. Okay, so I have texted Kristen. Let's see. Ooh, I was invited to a pitch Zoom. Okay. All right. I guess you shouldn't see all my emails, but whatever. There's nothing too top secret in there. Let's stop share. How do we do that? Not end the broadcast. Let's Stop. Okay, cool. Let us go to the outline, which will be here. It's 8:20. Now I've already started doing some stories. I know that. Um, yes, I have, and that's interesting. I don't see. So this is the agenda that I'm working on with the team, Team Represent, who is creating the first chapter of Adam Zen for Legions of Eccentrics. It's very exciting. I can get rid of this because the schedule really didn't work this time. It didn't work. Here it is, superheroes on superheroes outline. Boom. So Kristen and I went through last Friday on the train to LA, and we put them into different sections. Uh, Let me say, join me if you can. Okay. Um, chapter one is about being brave. At least that's what it is for now, and that is going to include artists we love for their bravery. It's going to include superheroes having a lot to lose. We all have a lot to lose, but it's what we focus on. My top five bravest moments that I can think of. Um, we have the bars thing, volleyball championship in high school. Uh-huh. That was interesting. Saying I love you first. That was to my ex-girlfriend. Uh, and that was a doomed relationship. And that's largely why I said that. No, it's not. It's not. Um, Talking to a loved one about their addiction. That was hard, but it worked out great. I talking to a loved one about their health. That also didn't turn out awesome. Accepting that I didn't need others' validation to be happy. Now that is a constant struggle. But something happened this weekend, that helped solidify that. Um, so I went with some of my just talk about uninvited guests, uninvited guests not inviting me. That's funny. That's funny. Weekend in LA. Yep. I remember it very much. Okay. Being brave is having the heart to take a stand for what is right. Boy, I know we all, I mean, it's harder for some than others. think about people that just have uh, having a loose moral compass is makes things easy. Um, that's for sure. And is karma real? What is karma? And being selfish. I'm thinking about um, getting what you want. For me, I've been validation through the opposite sex, mm, through my desired romantic interests. Because Steve Rogers, before he was Captain America, oh yeah, he was super. He had very high ideals. He fought for what he believed in. He really wanted to get into that war. Yep. I love that moment when he jumped in the grate. Loved the moment where he jumped in the grenade. Also, grenade. Also, when he figured out how to get the flag at the top of the pole. Iron Man using the gauntlet. What do I mean by that? Sacrificing himself? What do I mean by that? Right. Fight for what you believe in and don't get jaded. You have oh, you can't see my screen. I'm so sorry. You one person. Hi, how are you? Let me show you my screen. Um oh, I really did get color, didn't I? Okay, cool. You have to live authentically and fight for what you believe in. Okay. Um, can you not even hear? Ah, I don't think my microphone is plugged in. I'm pretty sure it's not. That's funny. I hope that you can hear me. One person. Uh, let's plug this in. Let's see if this works. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. 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 Okay. Um, let me see if this works. Hello. Okay. I think that should work. Let me just check. Anyway, it's happening. All right. So be original, fight for what you believe in, and don't get jaded. Watching the news is something that can jade a person. Make a joke about jading a person. I was just thinking about that. What happened to John Krasinski's Some Good News show? I don't know, but what are some other feel good outlets? Upworthy, um, Soul Pancake, uh, it's like God's List or something. God List. What are some other good news places? That's where you should spend your time. It's not have that all highlighted. Let's have this be none, and we'll put this here. And we'll call it A. Huh. Try that again. Whatever. Not that concerned. Call it call it one half. One half. Let's not have it highlighted. And let's put it in here. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Be original, the best you can be. Everyone else is taken. That is true. Uh, let's talk about that. I wanted to be Gene Kelly. Meets Eminem. I realized my power. I realized that my power is my heart and my vision, and that's going to this all works out. If I pull this thing off with amazing people and get the right humans involved, what I'm doing is going to be way more impactful than what I could do as a performer, for sure. Find your area of genius and go in that direction. Oh, that relates. That's great. Cool. Okay, cool. Why is Captain America so loved? Because he leads with his morals. That was the whole thing for Civil War, if you remember. And now this is a good time to talk about Tipping Point, which is his news network. Uh, let's talk about Mark Ruffalo. Um, something's up. All right. And Don Cheadle with their organizations. Okay. Solutions Project. Let's talk about that. Cool. You have to live authentically and stand up for what you believe in. Your friends are if your friends are intolerant, they are making things worse. World is already diverse. Divisive, not diverse. How do we be the glue and find the similarities, the things that bind us together? You can live for yourself, your own life, or you can live what you stand for. Hmm. Who are some examples of that? Let's find people from around the world, from throughout history, and not have them all be white men. I mean, of course, we can talk about Gandhi and MLK and Mother Teresa. What are specific stories? What about Greta and Malala and who are other impact people out there? Kate and who lived for the greater good? I think Demi Lovato is a good one. And maybe Taylor Swift. Who lives for other people? Oh, Lady Gaga. Go back to my childhood goals and dreams. That's great. So, how do we decide what we want to be? When we're kids, we are told, firemen and astronauts. And politicians, president. What are the jobs we want as children? What are the jobs we want as teens? And what are the jobs we want in our 20s? And where does that stem from? The need and how rigid, but how passionate and how um kind of set in your ways you are, because what you want to do usually takes courage and might be out of reach. So you cling on to a rigid plan or set of morals because you have to. That's all you have. Then you hit your 40s and start thinking, "Oh, happiness, quality of life." I can talk about when I was 30. My dad asked me if I was going to give up to try a new path. I have to read my comments. Join from what? Kristen's texting me. Hold on a second. I can't join from the old links. Hey, I need the link if you want me to join. Okay. Let's let's invite Kristen. Okay, pardon me. Invite. Okay, copy to clipboard and go to Discord. Um, I'm inviting Kristen right now. Okay, got a message from Miss Michael Ann. That's good. Okay. So cool. That's not. Kristen must be here.
There she is.
Good
There
morning.
she is. Good morning. Okay. New link. Interesting. New link. I did have to do a little bit more today to get into StreamYard, so I don't know what happened. But
Okay.
Kristen, how are you today?
I just woke up. So
Mm-hmm.
far so good.
Good morning. Good weekend. Good week. Join our
hmm
Discord. Um did you have a good weekend?
I did. I mostly played a lot of video games.
Oh, tell us all about tell me and the one person who might be Frank. Tell us about it.
Oh, well, Elden Ring, which is the new game from FromSoft, came out not last Friday, but the Friday before. So Josh took last week off, partially from my family because my folks had been in town, but also partially to play the video game. So we
Wow.
spent the week/weekend, you know, going around and exploring the map and
Does this
having.
have anything to do with J.R.L. Tolkien? The Elden Ring? No?
Yeah, this is Elden Ring. So it's been a lot of fun. It's a really nice game. Like it combines all the things that you like from Dark Souls and all of those games, but then puts it in an open world setting. So there's a lot more to do and discover, and I can see why it took them so long to come out with the game.
Well, that kind of made sense to me, but not really. Because you're like all those things that were I was like, oh, what things?
They, like hard bosses. It's a challenge. The whole game is a challenge. When I wrote about Dark Souls in an article for CBC,
Mm-hmm.
and you die a lot. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
there are people who can do no hit runs where they just beat the game without getting hit a single time. I'm not one of those people, but it's a challenging game, and so it's like you die frequently, and so you just have to kind of get used to that.
Now,
And
don't they call that grinding?
yeah,
Which
I'm
is not,
very good at that. That's how I beat most games.
just means having tenacity, really. That's what it means. It's just dying and figuring it out.
hmm Yeah, oh yeah, learning the move sets that you have to avoid, and how to avoid them properly, and so.
That's that's awesome. So the who if who should play this game? Lord of the Rings fans?
Oh, definitely. I think that that would be a good, if you like crumbling old castle, like feels like that. Like there's a bunch of knights, there's demi humans, so creatures that look like they're half chimpanzee and half human,
Oh,
in that they can like use weapons and stuff and wear clothing, I guess. And then of course, there's just the fantasy monsters, dragons, stuff like that.
maybe
Um,
maybe you should stream that.
Maybe
Could you?
I
Or
could look and see. I don't know if I can from the. We have. I have it on the PS4 so that I can play cooperatively with Max and Josh.
oh,
Um,
cool.
so I'll have to see if I can set that up.
That'd be cool.
If I
Uh,
can, it would be without video though, because I would have to stream directly to.
we wouldn't be able to see what you're doing on screen, or you
You wouldn't
could.
be able to see me.
Oh, I
You'd
think
be
that's
able to
okay.
see the game. So.
And maybe I don't know. Maybe you could pull in other people that are part of the streaming thing, and you could teach them about it if they have it. But I'm sure it's expensive, so maybe they don't. You're the only one that has it.
Well, I mean, I could definitely ask in the group chat, but yeah, you can play cooperatively, so that's nice. Like I said, I play with Max,
I
so
think you, Max, and Josh would be a fantastic thing to watch.
well, we can only do two at a time, sadly, because it's not cross-platform. So
Okay.
we can't you can't play it from like an Xbox and a PlayStation. So there's a few issues, but yeah, it's a fun game. I
Cool.
I I think it would be good, and I know it's been very popular in streaming services of late.
Okay, cool. Check it out. See, also see if you can recruit someone that like has a lot of followers
Yeah.
to be like to be part of that. Pardon me. So today, Kristen, I'm just going through it. I'm going through the first chapter. What we're supposed to do for the book is it's the blood. See, we before we did the guts, now we're doing the blood. Which is basically telling stories, trying to add stories to the outline.
Okay.
And the cool thing is they don't have to be just my stories. In fact, my stories are way less important. So this is where I think you'll come in and save the day and say, okay, cool. So let me just pull back that email, pull that email up again, just so you can look at it. Boom, 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 boom. He tells a story at the beginning about how he didn't win an award because he wasn't using stories in his speaking career. So, but basically, what he's saying is like, right here, sub point one, sub point two, how's divorce emotionally affect each spouse and their children, and a personal story about this. We previously had a note about a personal story, so you have to add personal stories. Um, so that's basically what it is. Go through the book and add personal stories. So for you, the queen of research, truly the queen of research. It's like I wished upon a lucky star and you appeared. Um, how do we go to the, that's not it. How do we go to this? Do you see that on screen?
Yes.
Okay. How do we go through the chapters? And I'm only obviously in the bravery chapter and add in stories. So I basically was like, we're still talking about bravery, and I'm just throwing in things like personal stories. Like I always wanted to be Gene Kelly beating Eminem, and then I realized that my power is actually my heart and my vision, which is bigger than my talent. Like performing talent. Where there's others that finding your own thing takes bravery. And going in that direction. I wonder if there are other stories about people that we admire that are part of this huge document of people that we admire. Um, and I can get you help with this. Robert in the Philippines can help look up stuff. Like you can coordinate with him and say, look this up, look that up, or whatever. But here are some of the people that we love for their bravery. We can look up stories about how they've shown bravery through their actions. Uh, so it's going to be a lot of like just reading. Like okay, what did Miley Cyrus do that was brave? What did Prince do that was brave? What did Beyonce do that was brave? Is there an anecdote that we can put in there about Beyonce saying, like when Beyonce said, like when she says something along the lines of, "We need to have more people of color or more women of color run the show," or be like, where are some examples of them illustrating their bravery? I know Lady Gaga, there's a very good video clip of her where she was overwhelmed, and I've seen this video clip, and she started saying no. She started saying no to a lot of things. She said, "No, I don't believe in that. No, I don't believe in that product. No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that." And then she started to come back to herself, and go, saying like, because she was just in the grind of a multi-billion-dollar industry, doing all the things.
Yeah.
Um, so I think like that's the perfect example, um, of illustrating bravery in a time of intense stakes. Um, so I happen to be a huge like Frank Sinatra fan, right? I don't think an eighth grade kid's gonna care about that. But like Sinatra, to get this, I think we might put it in there just for the heck of it. Frank Sinatra, when he won the Academy Award, he was like at an all-time low to get the movie he campaigned for, which is an awesome story because he came back bigger and badder than ever. Um, to get the role from Here to Eternity. He lost his career, he lost his wife, he lost everything, and then he campaigned for this like small little part in this huge movie, and he won the Academy Award. It's a really inspiring story.
I like Frank Sinatra. So.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we'll put him in there. He is, in my eyes, like not only mine, but like Time put him as one of the 100 most influential people of all time because what he did with the art. So he is a true person of history, and I love him. So, well, I don't love him wholly. I love huge parts about him. He was extremely generous, extremely charismatic, but also kind of a little bit of a jerk sometimes, you know.
I mean, I think that's pretty standard. And by the way, I found that video of Lady Gaga.
Oh, great.
It's at the Emotion Revolution Summit, Yale.
Great. Yeah. So I think that, Kristen, what you can do, and maybe we should just start at the beginning and just go, okay, cool. I started doing it with I believe I did it with the oh crap. I don't know what I just closed. I think I did it with the yeah, I must have just closed it. With the master, I started highlighting things. So let's go to that. Let's go to the master of the book. And I guess yeah. So here in the you can see that?
Yes.
So here on the side, I started highlighting things. How do I make that clear? That I'm being cheeky, not that part, but link to Wikipedia, like right here. I already did this. I fixed this. Anyway, so link to Britannica. How many do they actually have? So this is stuff that you can be doing, like you and I were talking about, even right now, or you can extend it whenever you have time during the day. Look for the actual history of the silver and the golden age of, and put a link to it and also a YouTube clip to it. And then how many characters does Marvel actually have? So, since you are, and then you can also say, cool, let's have Robert do this because Robert does speak great English and he's Filipino because that is a national language along with Tagalog. So, we can have him do what you don't. So you can assign things to him.
Okay.
So yeah, I could do that in the master. I've already started in the master of the book.
Okay.
But I think I can also do it in the outline of the book as well.
Yeah, I can go through during these morning things and start going through the outline and adding in links to these things.
Yeah. So I guess we should, another thing that we have to do is, now that we've changed the order of the book, or we've grouped things together into sections, we're gonna have to do that with the master because the master is long and just kind of stream of consciousness. Well, it's not really, but it's definitely not in an organized fashion yet. So we got to figure that out. So I think that maybe, since I've already done that with the master, why don't you do that with the master and then we can go through with the outline? Or should we do the outline first?
Like the links?
Yeah. Because I know, I mean, I went through this and I had like put in
Yeah.
link of interview, put in, so those that I've already done, at least for the first page and a half. So if we knock those out, I can do the same thing in the outline.
Yeah. I mean, if I once the links are in there, you can just copy and put them wherever you want.
Exactly. Yeah. So, all right. So why don't you do that while I'm starting to uh think about stories.
Okay.
Do that and then keep an ear out. Like we were talking about. I was just talking about when I was 30, my dad asked me if I was going to take a new path, and then that took bravery to say no. Popularity and looks will fade. That's a story. I think I should have this. This is a story, Nate's story. This is good. So if I'm going through here, I will fill in the Nate stories. Greta Thunberg. Good job, Nate. Oats. I was talking about Captain America. Mark Ruffalo started it. Ignore me. Mark Ruffalo started the Solution Project because of what was happening in his town. Oh, I know. There was a lady from the Divergent series. You know the lead of the Divergent series? You know what I'm talking about?
I've not seen or that was a book series that got turned into a movie, right?
Yeah, she spent time fighting off the government in Standing Rock. Tell that story. Um I wonder if Rosario has done anything. I know she wasn't. Okay, cool. Links. Which one, Kristen? What do
Yeah.
I mean by Iron Man using the gauntlet? I don't think I mean gauntlet. I think I mean the
Infinity Stones.
yeah. I talk about that later.
Well, according to this fact, Marvel has more than 7,000 characters, maybe more than 50,000 if you count one-off and ancillary superheroes, villains, and other mutants.
Whoa. Holy crud. Last
Okay.
I read was 5,000. That's crazy.
Yeah, that doesn't tell me when a year ago someone said that there are currently more than 8,000 characters in the Marvel universe, and that's the official numbers provided by Marvel and Disney.
Wow. Okay, cool.
So I'll link that.
Great.
The number has steadily been increasing over the years, which is why Marvel will have to update their count soon.
Nice.
And that's true because some of the characters are probably from the comics, and then some of the characters might be just from media.
I mean, there's not that many when I'm thinking about what I know from watching the MCU, which is my limited knowledge. I wonder if they created any characters that weren't in the comics. I don't think they would. Why would they have to if they have 7 to 8,000 to choose from?
Well, there's no telling.
Yeah.
To make money, there's all sorts of reasons why I could see them adding in new.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, also, if they're taking comics that were written in the 50s and 60s, they might not be politically correct. They might not have a diverse cast of people.
Right.
So at that point, they might be adding in something to make it feel more inclusive or more modern.
Yep.
I mean, I know I would, but I'm not in charge of these things. So.
Yep.
Okay, and according to DC, they have over 10,000 characters.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That is the DC database.
Hey. How do you spell anecdotes?
ANECT then DOTE. I don't know. I'm not great at spelling.
Yeah, me either. Link to anecdotes. Okay. Hey, you can't mash potatoes on me when I'm not wearing pants. I've got these shorts on and she likes to kind of knead your
yeah.
Don't do that. Don't. That's my skin. This cat is 17 years old and she is not about being ignored. She will not be ignored.
Well, at 17, she doesn't have to be ignored.
Yeah. Hey. You're hurting me. So I'm in a Filipino household right now. So the whole house smells like fried fish. I'm downstairs, I'm upstairs, and it's wafting through the house. And the other thing that they use is vinegar. They love rice vinegar, and it is powerful, man. Let me tell you. I actually asked Christelle, I said, can you put that on the other side of you so when you're eating it, it doesn't completely take over my meal?
I'm not a fan of vinegar, so.
Yeah, well, they love it. And you know what? Like even when they eat lobster, instead of using butter, they use vinegar. It's very interesting. It's a very important ingredient for their cooking.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I remember when I was dating a Filipino gentleman back in college, and I was always very amazed at the things like the chicken in the egg balut,
Oh, geez. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then they did like a big party one day where they got a whole roasted pig, and they were
Yeah.
like, "Kristen, you have to try the skin." So I tried it, and I was like, "This is the worst thing I've ever eaten."
Yeah.
And they couldn't believe it. They were like, "Well, more for us."
Oh, yeah. I mean, I haven't tried that chicken.
Oh, would not.
Yeah, that's kind of like Chris from what Christelle said, it's like it's kind of like show. I don't know if she's even tried it, but it's kind of like they think this, from what I understand, and I'm not gonna know if this is 100% correct, but like there might be some. It's almost like hazing someone to be like, can you? But also there's a lot of health benefits. I don't know. Um, but here, Kristen, linked to anecdotes, artists we love for their bravery. Now, these are just a first beginner. So, like when Prince did the movie Purple Rain, right? And that took bravery, right? And
I mean, that was like semi autobiographical. So yeah.
yeah, and Miley Cyrus speaks up about, I don't remember what, but I remember Beyonce wanted people of color, women, to have more opportunities. Same with the lady from what's her name, from Cap who plays Captain Marvel. She's like, I'm only being covered by white men. Why is that a thing? Demi Lovato talks about her trauma and her mental issues. So brave. She talks about bullying. Um, Ryan Reynolds. The story behind they got how they got Deadpool made. When he played um when he played Deadpool in Wolverine, he loved the characters and he kept campaigning for them to make a movie, and they went and shot something and then they wouldn't show anybody. Huh? And somehow they shot something. He tells the story, I've seen it, and they wouldn't show it. And they wouldn't show it. He leaked it, and it got huge interest. So let's find that.
Okay.
Um, Hugh Jackman, way the bravery for his career. But he goes from Les Mis to Wolverine to Music Man, to The Greatest Showman. Uh, I mean, that's to put yourself out. Like if something's going well for you, like most people would just stick with it, but he just keeps on doing you know brave things. And he and his wife, they help with Global Citizen. They like are a big force behind Global Citizen. So you kind of know what you're looking for, right?
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
I
And
mean, I'm
then
working on the master right now and adding in those things.
okay, cool.
So
Yeah, I'm giving you some like, well, what is he thinking about Mark Ruffalo starting with Standing Rock,
yeah,
government, a movie about Dark Waters. Uh Solution Project. It's his nonprofit. And him having a brain tumor.
yeah.
Fighting his way back. Rosario Dawson. I can't think of anything besides her constant outreach with Voto Latino. She campaigned for Bernie, which was brave because you're gonna lose fans or piss people off with your political stances. Same thing with like Susan Sarandon and Tim Robbins. Very outspoken for Democrats.
Here, I found a good article from progressive.org about Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, great.
I'm just putting it in the chat over there.
I was thinking of somebody else when I thought about that. Okay, Ava DuVernay. Okay, Ava DuVernay. How she created 13. And is Abe? Oh, hi. Hi. Constantly in the envelope. I'm streaming. In order to bring more exposure to people of color. So The Rock, he does stuff with Xbox, but I would be interested to see all the stuff that he does. Like what are his activities. Why does he do them? Lin-Manuel Miranda with Puerto Rican recovery, Puerto Rico recovery. Hamilton in Puerto Rico. EduHam. MEDU. On Cheadle, political stance. Project. I don't know. Okay. Oh, I got through that. Tony Stark made the ultimate sacrifice. Ends up loving the world and his family more than his ego. I feel like this is character stuff. Popularity and looks will fade. Looking successful to others won't bring you peace. Don't accept mediocrity and failure. It takes a long time for the human brain to develop. Give yourself space to grow. If you lose your ideals, your sense of wonder, sense of change, sense of fighting for others, then what are you living for? Everyday heroes. Oh, here's some more. LeBron James just.
What if you could get rid of your kitchen garbage at the push of a button? Hey, I'm Matt from Peel.
Okay. I don't care about
I've seen that ad. It's like new compost, right? It's a new way to compost. It's pretty cool.
Yep. I mean, I have a traditional composter.
Oh, that's good. Chapter 2. Invest in yourself. Never stop learning. Everyone learns differently. Um, the success principles. my gosh, everything has links, Kristen. Every single thing. Well, I mean, I guess that's the point, right? For this to be a reference for people to get inspired and go other places.
Yep.
Who are visual learners? Who are the famous visual learners? That's going to be difficult to find.
I mean, unless people are talking about it pretty openly, yeah, that might be harder.
Well, like for example, Brian Grazer has dyslexia, and so does Richard Branson. So we can find who are the diverse. I believe Anthony Hopkins. Okay, I mean he might be a little bit old for eighth graders, but
All right, this lists Albert Einstein, Steven Spielberg, Pablo Picasso, Leonardo da Vinci, and Frank Lloyd Wright as visual learners.
oh, cool. We have a pretty cool lineup already for stream. We're starting to get a bunch of streamers. It's cool.
That's awesome.
I just want to figure out how we can help them get people to see them, whether we have them stream together or what. I don't know. I don't know how to do that, but
yeah, that I think will be a conversation to have with Marky.
has more time.
Yeah, after the commission.
Yeah.
Here's an article about visual learning.
Are you on a different page than me? I think you are.
Well, you told me to start adding the things into the master, so I've been going through the master.
Okay. Where did you just send that?
Oh, the private chat. If you exit full screen on StreamYard on the right, there's a private chat.
Stop sharing. Okay. Oh yeah.
There we go. Go away now.
I'm getting back to that. Give me and then cool. Okay. What are you seeing? You making some progress?
Yeah, I found a really good article about 12 famous people who struggled with dyslexia before changing the world. And it
Oh.
talks about it in their own words. So it's not just stories about them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So Cher, Anderson Cooper, Robin Williams, Keira Knightley, Albert Einstein, Picasso, Whoopi Goldberg, Richard Branson.
That's great.
And, like more people. I just, I linked it in the master of the book where you talk about people who are dyslexic. So I linked it right there. So all of the links I found are, I like how it shows up on the side of the master as well. So you don't have to dig into everything to find them.
It's fantastic. Okay, that's great. Cool. Keep on keeping on, Kristen. Lady K.
I think I'm gonna keep on keeping on by eating breakfast though, and
Okay. You can pick this up whenever you can today. We don't have to be streaming. If you have time, then go for it. See if we can get stuff done by tomorrow. I will come back to this and start adding more. I got through the first 2 chapters, bravery and learning, I think. And then I'll come back and do more.
Robert could start in on the outline and find video clips or articles about individual people, and then if necessary I can go through those and distill down the stories that would fit into the book, because that would save me from having to do the research and then having to figure out which part of it needed to go in.
Great, that makes sense.
And then I can just keep working on the master and adding in links to articles that'll be useful.
Okay, that sounds great.
Okay,
I'll ask him.
Thanks.
I guess we're gonna sign off here. Thank you, one person, for watching. Don't know who you are, but I love you so much.
We always appreciate it.
You know what? It's gonna be really cool to have this in the archives. That's what I say.
That's true.
Your hair's fading.
I know. It's not as purple as it was.
It's still cool.
Thanks. I actually have always wanted to bleach my hair and then color it and then let it fade so it would be like pastel. So I'm hoping that this will eventually go to like a nice lavender color.
Ooh, cool.
So now that I'm in my 30s, I can do whatever I want with my hair.
Ooh, look at you. Permission.
When you live at home with your parents, they don't always want you to just color your hair. So
you grown now, Kristen.
That's right. I mean, Max's hair was dyed with the same dye as mine. So
he dyed his hair?
Yeah, when we cut his hair, we dyed it so that but we didn't bleach it. Like mine was bleached and then dyed so that the purple would show up more, but we didn't bleach his hair, obviously, because, he's a child.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to tell him he can't dye his hair. That's ridiculous.
Sure. Especially if his mom's doing it.
I know. What kind of parent would I be if I was saying no to something I was doing?
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, let me know how far you get with that. And I'll see you on bon appetit. Enjoy your breakfast.
Thank you.
And I will be sending out a lot of emails to people today to send them the email about, hey, this is what we did with the Comic Jam. It was awesome. I'll be sending those out today in different forms. Some will be more fleshed out and some will just be bullet points.
Okay.
Depending on who they are.
I will do some more work on this later, and but in between doing my other mom things.
Yeah, sounds great.
All right. Okay. And what's our prompt for tomorrow? Do you know ahead of time, or do you get it every day? Okay.
I need to. I think we're might start writing tomorrow, but right now I just need to go through and insert where a story would go.
Okay.
Or a paragraph or two about the story before we even start writing. but we
Okay.
already did start writing. But in this book, in this process. Cool. Well, have a great day and say hi to Max for me.
All right, I will. Bye, Nate.
Bye.